Let's see. Well, welcome everybody, friends, pals, guys and gals, boys and girls around the world. I hope you're seated. I hope you're ready to talk shit, to unload. Welcome, one and all, to a special, brand new live stream edition of The Black Files. You better be giving me the helm. This is my show. I'm the one who runs this one. Welcome, folks, to the Ravens Flock's uncensored, unscripted, unsolicited, unforgivable, and unforgiven interview, review, ranting podcast, The Black Files. I'm your host, Juan Arouse, one of the heads of the Ravens Flock. And as you can see on the little screen, on the little square to my, to the left of the screen that I'm poking down at, is the head of the Ravens Flock, Jose Casabona. How you doing there, Jose? Why don't you show everybody?
Let me see if I can adjust myself and turn my part of the screen a little bigger than this.
Well, you could. The way to do that is for you to turn your screen. Is for you to turn your phone sideways, which I can actually help you do if you come pick up something real quick. No. Yep, never a dull moment with the Ravens Flock, folks. We're still live. We're still on. As a matter of fact, I also have to pick up something paper, so give me a minute.
Well, I'm slightly bigger now that I'm sideways. No, not that one, turn sideways. Oh, okay.
Yep, like I said, folks, there's never a dull moment with the Ravens Flock. And just to give you guys a heads up on what we're going to be doing on this episode, first things first, if you couldn't tell from the headline that we have, we're actually going to be discussing the updates that we received regarding METROCON, one of the biggest conventions in the state of Florida. And like the biggest anime convention, I guess, and the plans that they've announced this past weekend on how they're going to be handling any sort of coronavirus related monstrosities. We've already got comments in the in our YouTube stream. That would be Geeks 5 Ever, saying hi there, saying first comment. So yeah, you guys call dibs. And along with that, we're also going to open up the stream. We're going to open up the discussion to you, to anyone who's watching, to everyone who's going to be watching over here. We're going to be opening up our discussions to you guys so that you can jump in, so that you can express your grievances, your opinions on things. So feel free to say whatever you wish. Feel free to say, whatever is rustling your jimmies here, and we'll be more than happy to accommodate, and we'll be more than happy to assist with you here. And as we always say, for any listeners here, for anyone watching, this podcast is 100% uncensored. We're going to say things that may or may not jive with your worldview. If we discuss anything that's TV or movie or entertainment related, we're going to give spoilers. Not because we hate you, but because it's part of natural discussion and natural discourse. It's going to happen. And most importantly, like I said, we're going to be discussing things that may or may not clash with your worldview. So if that's something that you're not comfortable with, if you don't like having opinions that aren't just, kowtowing to everything that you want, if you want to be mentally masturbating or being mentally accommodated by someone, go look elsewhere. The Ravens Flock isn't here just for your satisfaction. Well, we are, but not in the way of reaffirming your own beliefs or your own opinions on things without any sort of challenge. We invite discourse. We invite conversation. We want to give people a chance to express themselves without feeling restrained. And if it happens to be something that you're not sure of, then you like feel free and just tell us. We'll friggin' help you out. I don't give a shit. Like, we're here to rant. We're here to give you guys a run, like what you're looking for. And to keep with this being a podcast as well, the release on this episode is going to be after we're done with the live stream, is also going to be set up on our audio podcast channels, which are SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. So if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and follow the Ravens Flock on one of those podcast like platforms. Feel free to tune in. Feel free to share this with all your friends and neighbors, and let them know about the Black Files. Let them know about the Ravens Flock, making people uncomfortable, but in a comfortable way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And for this particular subject, since we're going to be discussing MetroCon, I think it's important for people to know that when it comes to our experience in going to conventions, I think you and I, we can both agree, we basically started it off with MetroCon. I think it's been, what's the term? It's like, it's our alma mater. Would that be the right term?
No, not, like alma mater.
Not alma mater, but more. I guess just the first con.
Was it the first con that we did it at? I don't know. Also, I'm realizing how big the watermark is. Let me just shrink that down a little.
Personally speaking, it's the first con that you and I have been to ever.
Yes, it is. It is, and we have nothing but the highest esteem and the highest regard for MetroCon. It is a place where we met many of our friends, where we met many of the folks in the con community, and we're here and we have nothing but love. We have nothing but respect for all of our friends who have worked at MetroCon, who have attended MetroCon, who supported, who have helped make it the convention that it is, all the way from its inception back in, what was it, 2002 or 2003 when it started?
2002.
You sure about that? Hang on. This is what Wikipedia is for.
Go ahead and look up Wikipedia.
Hang on.
I distinctly remember that it is 2002.
Yeah, nope, 2003. You remembered wrong. Yep, indeed, fuck. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, so
Okay, 2003, but
yeah. Well, the fact of the matter is that like the MetroCon is a second home to us in a way. I remember first going 2007, so I was there when they were first building up and they were first getting started, and I made friends with some of the staff. I made friends with people there. When I saw like the high that I got from being there, from going there, I could not face it. What's his face? Jace Burner is over here saying, I feel dirty, but I like it. And Geeks 5 ever saying, hey man, don't tell me how to live my life. If I want to touch myself while listening to the show, I will. Also, they can't hear you, Jose. Something happened with you here, Jose. Hang on. How about now? Can you guys hear Jose now? Jose, speak.
Vole, 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 vole.
How about now? I'm waiting to hear what folks are going to say, because I think I may have just had something like blip by accident. I don't know.
Hey man, mistakes happen. It's all right. But yes, it's obvious. Oh.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if the guys can hear him.
Better.
Can
you hear
okay.
me?
Yeah, much better. Yay, Jace Burner and
cool.
Geeks 5 Ever saying yes, we can hear him. Thank you guys.
Right,
That's
cool.
one of the reasons why I love streaming live for you people. You guys help us with our tech support while we're on, so we do appreciate that.
But back on the subject at hand, it is no secret when we say that MetroCon. What are you pointing at?
I am pointing at you. You are on the lower left-hand corner, and I am poking you in the head. Ha ha ha.
How do I fix that so we can both be on the screen equally on my phone? Or can I not?
You can. You just have to swipe through or whatever. But that's okay. Yeah, you just swipe on the little thing and you'll see the two of us. But it's not. You don't have to worry about seeing the two of us. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You come through just fine, Joe.
Okay, fine.
But yeah,
but yeah, as I was trying to say, for goodness sake, it is of course no secret when we say that MetroCon is one of the biggest and most popular conventions in the state of Florida, and its history it speaks for itself. Of course, lately with the pandemic that's still ongoing, kind of threw a wrench in not just MetroCon but all the plans for all nerd conventions nationwide, with a few exceptions of some that we've already discussed and we've already ran to the ground.
Yeah, no, I'm just not happy about the fact that our con lineup was wiped out by this stupid virus, by the stupid, ridiculous bullcrap that is the coronavirus, and I just cannot abide it. It's been hell. Thankfully, of course, we adapt. The Ravens flock is not one for lying down for anybody. We don't take any crap from anyone. Let's see here. But like truthfully, we do our best to maintain a sense of decorum. We try to do our best to maintain a sense of professionalism when it comes to these situations. So we've been rolling with the punches ever since this started. We got ourselves set up with the live setup. We've got ourselves set up with people jumping in. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and add the meeting link here in a little bit to let other people talk. And to let other people give their grievances on shit that's pissing them off right now. But truthfully, for me, like the one thing that I was supremely worried about was jumping the gun, was getting ahead of ourselves, was getting too excited of getting set up for a new convention, thinking like, oh, hey, the virus is gone. We can go now. We can do it. Yeah, no. Like thankfully, thank fucking God, the folks running MetroCon have the same cautious attitude that I've got on this thing. So much so that what they went ahead and did, they decided that they were going to hold a live Q&A stream on both their Facebook page and their Instagram page, which I'm going to go ahead and, like, one more time, I'm going to go ahead and share this copy. I'm going to go ahead and share the link for our live stream now. And Joe, I'm going to ask you a favor. Go ahead and put this up on every social media link that we've got. I'm sending it to you now. There. So.
Yep.
Oop, my bad. Kick the cam. And so what do you call it? That way everyone can see us. That way everyone can see, hey, the Ravens flock is live. We're talking about MetroCon. Hopefully, like I mentioned earlier, no one thinks that we're just trying to be like party poopers or anything dumb like that. No, far from it. We want these conventions to return. The one thing we don't want is like some a-holes. Yeah, Jose's dropping out for now, but off of the
no, I'm doing the thing you're telling me to do, the share things, but I can't do it.
Yeah, no, okay, so yeah, we just see a gray square with your name. That's fine. Well, because we've had a lot of other disaster stories that were happening last year and the beginning of this year too, for Christ's sake. It's there are some folks who are trying to run conventions now who do not take the safety of their attendees or their employers or their venues or themselves in mind. Thankfully, we can not make that claim when it comes to the folks running MetroCon. Specifically, the live stream was hosted by the convention owner, Alex Craddock. He goes way back from the old school days from MetroCon. He started off from, like, it was literally the story started from the bottom. Now we're here, whatever. I don't know the name of that rap song, how that goes. But the point is, he started as like a volunteer. Then he became part of staff. Now he owns a convention. It's cool. And this past Saturday, which for anyone who's not listening or watching live, this was Saturday, February 27th. He took the liberty of hosting two separate live streams, one on the Facebook page for MetroCon and the other on the Instagram page for MetroCon. So if you're not big on where the hell to look, just go in, type METROCON, all one word, no dashes, no dots, no spaces. And if you're searching for it specifically on Facebook, then you should see. Well, you'll see a couple of different things here. You'll see the event page. The little icon for that is somebody playing with fire, and you'll see like the official group page, which is someone in green. Who is that? Hang on, let me go open it. I'm not trying to be like facetious or whatever, but I'm like who's that person? Okay, it's a dude who looks like he's in some sort of cosplay. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what character that is. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm like, okay, is that supposed to be like Zero from Mega Man or whatever without the helmet? Because he's got big blocky white and red shoulder armor, and that's it. But anyway, go ahead and check that out if you are planning to attend the convention. So fingers crossed, by the grace of God and the will of the Force, if we ever get conventions back again, if we get like METROCON back specifically, that the event will be July 23rd through the 25th, a 3-day weekend, Friday through Sunday. So if you're planning on going, yeah. Oh, you almost forgot to turn yourself sideways. There you go. So yeah, okay. All right, so yeah, it's if you're going, check out metroconventions.com for ticket details and for the very comprehensive and very wordy but totally understandable COVID-19 updates that they've been doing. Now, I took the liberty of watching the live stream when it went down, both of them, because I was expecting there to be, of course, with different platforms, you can have people asking different questions. So I went ahead. If anyone's watching, you'll see 2 pages, like front and back, on taking notes, like very meticulously, like oh crap, I hope I didn't miss anything. Okay.
Never let it be said that any member of the Ravens flock does not do their homework.
No, you better believe I do my homework. Shoot, how do you think I flunked college? Wait a minute, that's not how that works. Jace Burner on the YouTube chat saying, yeah, it's crystal clear now for Jose's audio, and always good to see cons to have responsibility. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I want conventions to come back, but we got to be responsible. It's like driving. It's like learning how to have sexy times. It is like learning how to swallow or whatever, like sword juggling. You've got to be careful with that because you will get hurt otherwise. And we don't want anyone getting hurt, especially when it's coming to do something we love, coming to do something that we care about. So I hope you'll excuse me here. Here's the part where I'm going to get dorky and I'm going to get technical because I'm literally reading off the information here that was provided by Alex. Oh, Bunda asking over here, hey Bunda, by the way, thank you for providing the fodder for my Miz rant from this past Saturday. Juancho, what do you think of Lashley becoming champ?
That is
all right.
You know what? We have time to answer. You have time to answer.
All right. Yeah. Look, you know what? As far as Lashley becoming WWE champion, for him, it's about damn time. Like, he's never been WWE champion, has he, Jose?
No, this is his first legit WWE championship title ring.
Yep, and the closest he ever got was being ECW champion.
ECW champion. He's achieved accolades outside of WWE. He has become a TNA/Impact World Heavyweight Champion. He has competed in Bellator MMA, and yes, it was a long time coming. And he is the second oldest WWE champion in history.
Wait, second oldest? Who's the first oldest? Ric Flair?
Vince McMahon.
How old is Lashley? Jesus Christ.
44 years old.
How old was Ric Flair when he was WWE champion? Hold on.
I'm
gonna look that up.
Really, hang on a minute. Well, let's focus on the meat of the matter. All right. The point, the point is, it feels good, and he's got thumbs up from everybody.
Indeed, yeah, definitely. Let me see here. WWF World Wrestling Federation, 1991. Okay, so
I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom.
Yeah. Okay. Switch your camera off, so we don't have to see. Yeah.
How do I?
Just tap the thingy. You know what? I'm going to turn. There you go.
Stop video.
There. So no camera from you. You go and take your potty break while I look up this Ric Flair thing. But we're really here to talk about what's going on with MetroCon for now, Bunda. So after I find this and after we get that straight, I'm going to go ahead and continue from there. Yeah, two-time WWE, World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Champion, 1991 to 93. So between that time, let me see here, 49, 59, 69, 79, 89, 99. Hold on. Was he 89, 90, 91? Holy shit, he is. Lashley was older. Wow, what are the odds? Yeah, no, turns out Ric Flair would have been 41 at that point when he was WWE champion. Jace Burner is saying some are better at swallowing swords than others because of practice. Geeks 5 ever. 17 years since debuting in WWE, the first time and the third African-American WWE champion and second oldest champion. Jace Burner, yeah, it's probably oldest first-time championship. Yeah, no, you're right. But yeah, no, it turns out that with Lashley being 44, Ric Flair got beat out by 3 years. So even with Ric Flair looking the way he did in 1993 with the blonde white hair of a senior citizen looking guy, go figure. Okay, moving on. But yeah, just to give, I want to try and condense this as best I can, even though I've got full sheets of paper and one sticky note that flew off. Alex, during the live stream, which by the way, one last thing that I wanted to do. No, I was actually about to go get into this, Jace. Jace Burner asking, so is MetroCon going on full scale, or are they trying to do the reduced attendance and spacing? Alex was actually trying to say, the problem that he's trying to figure out with the Tampa Convention Center is they're going to be keeping open as far open as the Tampa Convention Center is going to allow. If the convention isn't, like, what he's trying to do is he's trying to find a balance between having enough attendance and enough attendees to show up, like paid attendees, in order to make the convention feasible versus the maximum capacity that the Tampa Convention Center is going to allow, which according to the live stream, the info that we got here, the guideline looks like they're going to be opening the Tampa Convention Center back up at maximum of 50% capacity sometime around May is when they're going to open. So with that being said, as far as that's concerned, it's going to be tough because they're actually basing the attendance base. Yeah, exactly, Jace. They're trying to go above the red. They're trying to base the attendance space based on the maximum capacity for each of the individual halls and like exhibit halls and convention panel rooms at the building, not like volume in total. Because if you were to pack the Tampa Convention Center, you could fit like over 15,000 people in it handily without a problem. It's 2 floors of doom. Well, a third if you count the third little mini floor. It's more like their administrative office, but really it's 2 floors of doom. 2 massive exhibition halls that are connected or connectable or whatever, and the ground level floor being the exhibit halls, some of which are connected for like the video game room and for other like special events rooms, and other that are kept to themselves for just panels. So it's going to be really, really tricky keeping the attendees from being crammed up and spaced out at the same time. He also pointed to the fact that he'd been sitting in on town hall meetings and sitting in on listening in with other like business owners and other folks in Hillsborough County here in Florida. And he also pointed towards an online dashboard that's updated daily for Hillsborough County in terms of COVID updates. They're looking towards having some form of herd immunity set up by as late as April. on here, which I actually wrote down a note. Yeah, right, because of anti-vaxxers being assholes. Like, I'm not gonna inject the microchip and the 5Ds and the chip in my veins in America. Those stupid people. And even Alex had actually admitted that in the terms of herd immunity is probably not going to ever be 100% achieved because of anti-vaxxers. So as I was making that note, he made the same remark that I was thinking. I was like, oh, hey, go fucking figure. I guess we're thinking the same thing. He went by common sense rules. He wants everyone to please, for the love of God, wear a damn mask. If you're going to be going out, like, just please go ahead and continue with masking up. Continue with, like, keeping with your own group as best as possible. If you've got a group that you either live with who's going with you in the convention, or if you're rooming up with folks, like, sticking with your hotel room group is probably, like, the safest thing. So everyone spreading out wouldn't be...
All right, I'm back.
It'd be wobbly. All right, good. Thank you for coming back, Jose.
All right, but so please continue.
Yeah, I'm going to continue going over here. And along with discussing the information that we got from that he got from the county, Alex was also talking about how he's gauging the comfort level of the staff in terms of, like, talks online and having Zoom meetings and stuff, as well as attendees just chatting and people talking about this on social media. So, again, we want to be sure that that this is handled in a responsible manner. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so along with that, we've also got folks in the Tampa Convention Center setting up their own guidelines and their own accreditation in terms of cleaning the place down, in terms of making sure that it's sterile, in terms of making sure that it's safe. The Tampa Convention Center looks like they're going to be using like 6 feet social distancing, mandatory masks in the buildings, and temp checks at every entryway. So there's a couple of, like, main entryways in the convention center. Off the top of my head, you have the one by the grand stairways of doom. You have a small one off to the side that's by the escalators of the convention center at the back end by the pier. And there's the one double doors, right? So that's 3 entryways that we know of. So the Tampa Convention Center themselves are going to be making sure that if you're going to be stepping in and out, they're doing temperature checks no matter what. And there was also discussions of possibly requiring that folks have, like, depending on the rollout for the vaccine here in Florida, depending on that, there's been talk of either implementing vaccine passports for going to the convention, and bringing with you recent COVID testing that proves that you have that you're negative for the virus. At least, if I remember correctly, because I didn't write this down, was 72 hours ahead of time. Let me check to see if I wrote this on here. Yeah, Alex was specifically saying that if other large capacity events are trending towards using vaccine passports or negative testing proof to bring with you, that him and the staff will consider going along with that as well. He also recommends that folks who are traveling in from out of state to either bring a negative test 3 days prior, or to quarantine for 14 days. So show up 2 weeks before the con and then attend the convention from there. I'm just over here thinking, like, most of the folks that we know who travel in from out of state are not going to be able to get 2 weeks off from their straight jobs, from their work, let alone be able to get approved for showing up just for the weekend on its own. And, like, they'll have to travel the night before, or they'll maybe travel like 2 nights before the convention and then either leave the night after the convention ends, or the very next morning after it ends. So getting 2 weeks off, that would be wild. But he also, like, Alex also was mentioning that if you're traveling by car by road instead of, like, flying in, that maybe with, like, the drive time, with you just hanging with the people that you're road tripping with, that you're going to the convention with, that should be enough to stave off having to quarantine for 14 days. That part seemed a little murky, the way he was describing it, but I totally understand that. Joe, your thoughts? Anyone else on the chat with your thoughts?
The thing is that it sounds like so far he's like, here's the thing. He's just going with the information that he knows, that he's gathered. So he's...
Yeah. Well, that's anyone could do, is best information available.
Yeah, exactly. But was there more on this, or? Oh,
there's plenty more. I'm just trying to condense everything as best as possible, and I'm trying not to just one on one sheet and then on the other, because I went ahead like neurotically writing the notes down for all this, and I didn't want to repeat anything.
Now, as far as the convention staff goes, you said that they're going to be doing temperature checks, and what else will they be doing along that?
Yeah, no, the convention center staff is looking towards doing temperature checks at the door, mandatory masks and social distancing, and washing your damn hands. I remember leaving a comment on there like saying, he's like, because he was saying, don't forget washing your hands will help fight off con crud. I'm like, showering helps too, folks. That was actually what Jose was talking about with us making our first, I guess you could call it a stunt or whatever with MetroCon, was that we were marching against con funk, and we were handing out toiletry items to everyone that we can, handing it out with little Ravensflock stickers on it, like, hey, here.
Yeah, that was on our first year, 2013.
Yep. And I'm seeing here on the Facebook chat, I'm sorry, on the YouTube chat, because I was looking at Facebook, Jace Burner saying only people taking 2 weeks off for a con are from overseas. You're right about that, and this is a big attractor at the convention. He in his in the live stream, Alex was specifically stating that he actually found a study and did some homework, and turns out that MetroCon generated anywhere between $3 and $5 million in tourism revenue for the Tampa Bay area. So that's fucking wild. That's people showing up, taking hotels, eating out, spending money in downtown Tampa. So I'm like, yeah, that's a big deal there. Holy cow. Yeah, no, it's crazy. So what was I going to say? All right, so I'm going to continue here as best I can. Now, the three big events that people like about MetroCon are, of course, like the dance events or like the big gathering events. You can't have a convention like this without like basically what these guys have pioneered over the years. The three big shows are, of course, like there's the Anime Human chess match, which is like incredible and it's big, but that's a stage show. The more crowd-oriented shows would be the Masquerade Ball and Raves, which are held indoors in the main events room, and the outdoors fire show. Yes, they have fire shows. That's why when I was pointing you to this Facebook page, it was people playing with fire, because they've got beautiful pyrotechnicians and like fire dancers. Very, very awesome stuff. The last time I saw it was 2019. I got to see it from the balcony of the convention center, because I was not fighting for a seat on the crowd. That would have been wild. Took some video, took some photos, put it up. It was awesome. Now, the big thing about that is if the like right now, obviously raves or any sort of gathering or any sort of dancing of any kind right now would be a stupid ass idea. It'd be fucking stupid. And if they're able to continue the way they're going right now by the end of July, Alex is predicting they should be okay with putting on the fire shows and with putting on the chess the match and the raves and every other big crowd event without much of an issue. Namely, because he's figuring at that point we'll be able to get people spread out. He's actually considering putting up folks with like in like sort of like section areas. If you remember seeing like some concerts have like miniature platforms for like 4 people at a time, and then it's spread out, and then you have 4 people at a time. Okay, so he's like considering something similar to that, or for like the rave or the masquerade ball, he's considering having little zones set up where people can interact very sparsely with other folks, but can stay mainly with the people they're dancing with.
Right. To interact with other people, but still socially distant.
Yeah, exactly. Like miniature, like designated areas kind of spot for folks. I don't know. Maybe he's going to have them taped off on the ground, although that'd be difficult to deal with because the dance rooms are going to be like dark. But I'm sure they'll figure something out. Let's see. Jace Burner on the chat. We know that good hygiene helps. We've known this. People who don't already do it at cons will have no intention to start. You're not wrong. Because I have seen and smelled some funky motherfuckers at conventions. These hijueputas don't know how to enjuagarse la fucking nalga. It is terrible. It smells. I know it. But hopefully we've come to a place collectively where people can have learned their fucking lesson. And people have learned to not just give a shit about themselves, but try to be socially conscious with each other. That'd be fucking nice, wouldn't it? Also, Chris Carp. Hello, Chris Carp on the YouTube chat. Realistically, though, how many cosplayers are going to stay masked when someone wants pictures? That's actually a really iffy bit because some folks are going to want to keep their masks off when they take a photo, but they're also going to, there was also something that Alex wanted to encourage, like if you're going to be taking a picture, keep your mask on as best as possible, or if you're going to be with a photographer, or if you're just meeting with someone just for photography, and you must have the mask off for some reason. He was actually going according to the CDC, Center for Disease Control, exposure to someone is constituted by being within someone within 6 feet of distance and being within 15 minutes. So, the safe thing is, okay, if you have to be with someone who's taking your picture, then the maximum time would be 15 minutes if they have to be closer than 6 feet. But if they're further than 6 feet, then it's fine. You can have your mask off there. But it's preferable if you have to be up close, keep the mask on as best as possible. But, of course, that's all purely, folks are either going to listen to this or they're not, and I'm hoping to God they do, because this is ridiculous. Let's see here if I'm missing anything else here. Yeah, separate spaces for dances. People asking about refunds, of course, because if people are getting skittish about this now, then getting a refund would be a priority, because nothing talks more than money, right, Jose?
Yeah, I know that the refunds for METROCON was a concern last year when they had to announce that they had to take a year off.
Right.
I've been reading some of the comments on the post. What has he addressed about it as far as this year is concerned?
As far as this year's concerned, Alex was basically saying that they're going to be going by the regular refund policy for now. However, if the event ends up being canceled altogether, that's going to trigger a whole new refund process for everyone. So giving people the option to roll it over or refund their tickets or their dealer's booth, their vendor's booth. It was also talking about if there's like a I don't know if he was mentioning this for just the artist alley or for both artist alley and the merchants. So the vendors room, if you have to cancel, if you're trying to cancel, you are free to take your reservation and you can sell it to another vendor, and you can give them the reservation info, give them your info, give them your email, and then you go ahead and email the convention staff and let them know, hey, this is XYZ vendor incorporated. I'm going ahead and selling to ABC vendor. Here's their information. And of course, get on there, but to remind them to, hey, go ahead and reach out to METROCON. Let them know, hey, this is ABC. I just bought the reservation from XYZ. and here's our information here, and they'll update accordingly. So they're doing their best to be flexible with everybody involved, even the vendors, because this is how vendors make their livelihood.
Right, of course.
Yeah, and let's see here. Let me see if I'm missing anything else. Like the only, like the latest cancellation date that he was looking at, that Alex was looking at in terms of the convention, is if there's going to be any sort of final call on whether they're going to continue with the con or cancel. The latest should be sometime around May or June. This is, of course, barring any sort of freak occurrence like a spike in COVID cases in July. Because if that winds up happening and he's like, if Alex is not feeling it from there, he'll notify people then. But optimistically, we should have like final say on whether the convention is going to go on by May or June from that point, like end of May, middle of June kind of thing. Oh, Chris Karp on the chat. Are they making sanitizing mandatory for booths considering people love to put their gross hands on every item? LOL.
I would assume they should.
That's a good question. He actually, Alex actually mentioned that specifically. Let me see. Where is it?
I would assume that that's a contingency that's in place, for goodness sake. If they're enforcing people to wear masks and social distance and wash their damn hands, then it would be a benefit to have sanitizing stations.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? But that would actually be... Go on.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up a reference. Last year when I attended the Bay Area Renaissance Festival before COVID and before they closed everything down. Hang on a minute, Juan, are you frozen?
No, I'm not frozen.
Okay, holy shit, you stood so still that I thought you were. So when I attended Red Fair, they actually had these little like sanitizing stations in like different parts of the area outside, and it was easily accessible. So I would imagine
that was the Ren Fair outdoors pre-COVID though, right?
That was at the very beginning, like right at the doorstep.
Oh shit! All right.
So
now specifically, one thing that was the way this was brought up, according to Alex, according to the live stream, which I again urge you, if you want to see the full live stream on its own, go to the METROCON page on Facebook, not the group page, but I believe like the company page or event page, and you'll see the live stream from there. So if you don't want to believe me, or if you think I'm embellishing or making something up, I'm not for that. Go and see it for yourself, because I went ahead and took these damn notes like a fiend. Alex was specifically saying in terms of the vendors halls, he's recommending that they set up basically a hands-off rule. If there's going to be any additional sanitizing stations, that'll be up to the convention staff. He's definitely going to make sure that they're going to set up for the merchant halls to be spaced out more. I would imagine, you know how you have it sort of like 4 squares where you have everyone. Is it 4 or is it 8? I don't know. I think it'd be 8, wouldn't it? Because you have.
It would be 8.
Yeah, because you have like 2 people here facing this hall, 2 people here, like this passage, 2 on this end, and 2 on either side. That's how the little grid works, right? Or am I just bullshitting, Joe?
No. Go on.
All right. So basically taking each one of those like grids or whatever of vendors, and those are going to be spaced out a little more. And as far as the no touch rule, basically don't touch it if you don't plan on buying it, especially if it's a piece of artwork or whatever. Just keep hands off. You are able to look with your eyes, not with your hands. It's like our mom used to teach us, right?
It's not just a precaution, but that sounds like common sense. If you don't have any money and if you're not going to buy it, then don't touch it at all, dude.
Like, I know that's tough, especially for a dork ass like nerd like me who sees like replica swords and lightsabers and props and shit, and I want it so bad.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, but I cannot touch. Hands off. Chris Karp on the chat. It may sound over the top and many people wouldn't use it every time needed, but it would be a good idea to make anyone who enters to have a personal sanitizer or a hand on hand after temp checks. You're not wrong. The other thing that I was thinking of is little complimentary like METROCON branded bottles of hand sanitizer.
Oh my god.
No, but maybe that's just me being a freaking dork or whatever. I don't know.
It's
you know
something
what?
that I think it's something that I think that the METROCon staff would highly recommend to the attendees. Like that's something that they would have to post on their own time, like just a list of like, oh, like helpful tips. Helpful tips.
Yes, please be helpful, be kind. Like, don't be an asshole. For real. They were also mentioning for folks who have submitted panel submissions or submissions for contests. Those are still open for submission on the METROCON website, and the best way to contact anyone who's convention staff for any specific details would be to email them, and their emails are provided on the Contact Us page on metroconventions.com.
That's good.
One other...
All right.
Sorry, one last thing over here that I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping up. Alex was very adamant if you were to try to get him to run the convention right this second in the middle of February, March or whatever, then he would give a hard no. It's still too soon. It'd still be too crazy because people are still being stupid about it. And he was specifically saying that unless there was one thing that he was really adamant about was that that if the convention center refuses to let them cancel, if the staff say that okay, it's sorry to cancel, like it's not going to be safe, but if the convention center and the city are like, no, you have to run this, you have a contract, and if you don't, then you're not going to be allowed, he would sooner let the convention get killed off. He would sooner let METROCON be canceled and break the contract for people's safety rather than have to uphold a contract under like tenuous circumstances where it's not safe to reopen. And folks were asking, hey, what would you think about doing the convention as a live stream, as an online event? And Alex actually answered, that wouldn't be really feasible to do, because we would have to set up all sorts of different like online links, and if they were to do an online merch store, all the METROCON merch would have to be inventoried and set up on a store, and they'd have to get shipping set up and have all that, and that sort of infrastructure is not something he's ready to commit to at a moment's notice. The only exception would be the aforementioned con getting canceled and the contract having to be broken for safety. Like, okay, if we're going to do that, then we'll try to run the convention digitally or run a merch store online to keep people's interest and to keep the convention funded for the future.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, so based on everything that you just read off, let me give my 2 cents on this. Obviously, based on the Q&A, he obviously has his head screwed on, right? He's looking out for the best interests of everyone, not just the staff, not just himself, but also to the attendees. He is aware. He's not an idiot. He is aware that this pandemic is real, and even though the vaccine is now in our hands, being the United States collectively, that doesn't mean that the pandemic is over. That doesn't mean that we could just up and go back to normal.
And we've got these asshole anti-vaxxers to thank for all that shit. Like, I'm over here like, guys, we've got 3 different vaccines. One is a one-shot only vaccine from Johnson & Johnson. You rub that on your baby for their shampoo. You get Johnson & Johnson for your baby powder when you're feeling muggy or whatever, but you're not going to trust Johnson & Johnson for the goddamn vaccine? What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Here's another
What's the matter with you? Sorry, go on.
Right. Yeah, no, you're fine. And it sounds like, and he did this, and they did it last year, that right now he's trying to keep his ears on the ground, paying attention to the news. He's playing a wait and see to see how things progress between now and until summertime, May and June, the height of summer.
Yeah, the May and June, that's the season where everyone's going to want to go nuts on going out.
Oh, yes.
But at the same time, it's also the same season where we're likely is to have another spike in COVID cases because we haven't flattened any sort of fucking curve out. I'm really glad, like I mentioned earlier, that Alex Craddock and the staff at MetroCon are doing the right thing. They're trying to be smart. They're trying to be like meticulous and thoughtful and plan ahead to the best of their ability. I expect nothing less from the staff of MetroCon. Since I've been going there, whoever worked on MetroCon I've met them with. They've had nothing but professionalism and fucking respect and trying to maintain like an orderly convention because we weeaboos and nerds are fucking wild. We're a pack of wild redheaded stepchildren when it comes to the geek world. So trying to keep everyone corralled is definitely a priority.
Yes, absolutely.
But because like I'm remembering horror stories, I tapped into it briefly on our season premiere of the Ravens Flock, where oh god, well it was it Anime Fest? No, Otaku Fest, Miami, over here. Right in the beginning of January, they ran an indoor convention with what was it, anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 people indoors without social distancing. God. And a couple of friends of ours, their sisters, they went to the convention. They flew down from the Tampa
I was going to
area.
say, you're starting to come up a little choppy, like a little blocky, you know?
What do you mean choppy and blocky?
Like from my phone, it looks like...
Oh, the video?
Yeah.
Here. How's that? I don't care. Okay, don't worry.
Yeah, it's still doing the thing. But continue, please. Go on.
Yeah, no worries about that. Okay, give me a minute. I'm stopping the video for you there. So you don't have to worry about seeing me or not, Jose. Just look at the pretty birdie.
Okay. I'm looking at my birdie.
All right.
But so back to the subject. So the con in Miami had an attendance of between 3,000 to 5,000 people indoors. And can I assume that they weren't practicing any of the CDC guidelines that they needed to?
They were more interested in getting attendance, from what I can tell, and it looks as if they were more interested in raking in whatever money they could, because social distancing was not enforced, even though they said it would be in their website. So they fucked up royal. Our friends who flew in there, once they went to the convention on the first day and realized, oh my god, these guys are so fucked, they were trapped for the whole weekend. Like, because it was held at a hotel and they were in the same venue, so they couldn't just fucking skip out. They had to wait until their flight came up for, the following, it's Monday. So that was a beautiful fucking wreck. And that's basically how not to run a convention. Another way of how to run a convention properly was Sci-Fi Bartow. We were planning on going and attending, but, shit happened. We couldn't. But Sci-Fi Bartow is an outdoor event that spans across a space of 10 city blocks in Bartow, Florida. And it was a one-day event. Everything was outdoors, so you had nice, like, cool, like Ghostbusters Ecto 1, like, car displays. You had people showing up with outdoor vendor areas, cosplays, outdoors. Everything was socially distanced, and they had little mask stations for free. So you can get a free freaking mask, so you have no excuse of not having a mask, and hand sanitizing stations. So you had no excuse for not being able to sanitize your goddamn hands.
Right.
So that's them doing it right. And I wish I could have gone. I wish we could have been able to go to Sci-Fi Bartow and bring home some footage, but regrettably that wasn't in the cards. So now we've got MetroCon, which is a big player, which is a big important place in the Ravens Flock's hearts, if we could ever find our heart. And
it's there somewhere, but go on.
And truthfully, it's like we want the conventions to come back. We want these cons to treat people right. We want these cons to treat themselves correctly and to operate correctly. So, we're going to be keeping an eye on MetroCon. We're going to be keeping an eye on other conventions coming up. We saw that MegaCon had just made their announcement. They were going back to August of this year instead of, May? So, smart.
Yeah,
they better fucking realize. I'm still hoping that we get a news for Omni Fandom Expo, which I think is also going to be in August, and Holiday Matsuri, and LumiCon should be. We should be getting some news about that in the near future. But LumiCon's more Halloween oriented.
Yeah, when it comes to these conventions and when it comes to the pandemic, I think it should be noted right now. It should be noted that not only the staff but us attendees, we need to start getting in the habit of staying informed. We need to pay attention to the news, and we need to pay attention to professionals, to scientists, when it comes to the pandemic. You know, we can't afford ignorance. We really cannot afford to ignore the problem.
Ignorance may be cheap, but it comes at a price down the road. So no, you're right about that. Also, Chris was at Carpa on the YouTube chat was saying, "Sorry for blowing up your chat. LOL. Thanks for providing good information." Hey, all we're doing is relaying the same information that you can get from Alex Craddock himself on the MetroCon page on Facebook in their copy of the live chat and on the MetroCon website. So all I'm doing is I'm just giving my take on the same information. I'm not trying to spin. I'm not trying to like, oh, this good, this bad. No. I want to try and help spread the word because this shit's important.
No. Trust me. You are not doing anything of that sort, Juan. All right. I'm pretty sure if any of the MetroCon staff are watching right now, they would actually appreciate that you're conveying the message to them and also giving a little bit of your own personal insight when it comes to the situation.
No, I hope so. It'd be nice. That's a nice sentiment.
But yes. Because it's important. The more people that know, the more people that are aware, especially in our local audience in Florida, you know, the better we'll be prepared as we head towards the summer.
No, I hear you. Holy Lord. Yeah. But in any case, I'm going to go ahead and, what do you say we go ahead and open up the floor? What do you say to that, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and open up the floor. If any of you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to drop it on our YouTube, on our twitch.tv and youtube.com /the Ravens Flock. And we will answer them in the duration that we are live.
No,
I do want to.
Yeah, I don't mean just comments. I'm saying open up the floor to invite people to come on.
Oh, right. Listen to me going through all this friggin' spiel, man. Jesus. Yeah, go right ahead. You can go ahead and swap me out and bring somebody else in if you want to talk with them. That's fine.
Hey, Ben Cruz is on the chat. Hello, guys. Hi, Ben. Good to see you there. If you haven't seen it already, I'm putting up the link for our chat here. So whoever wants to go ahead and jump into the chat is free to do so as well. Yeah, and Jose, I'm not just gonna like dump you off or whatever unless you need to leave.
Well, no, I will say this. The only way we're going to persevere, like I have to reiterate my point from last year's finale. The only way we're going to prevail through this pandemic is if we all work together. Cooperation, trust, and knowledge. We have to be able to educate ourselves in everything that's going on.
Yeah, being knowledgeable, being smart with what's going on. Don't just be an ignorant a-hole about, like, oh, hey, I'm not gonna deal with this virus. It's fake. It's not real.
And cooperate. Follow the rules. Work with other people. For goodness sake.
For crying out loud, it's. We're not asking you to fucking hand over your firstborn child. We're asking you to wear a piece of cloth over your face and maybe wash your damn hands and maybe, just maybe, keep a bottle of hand sanitizer on you. What's the big deal with that? Jesus H. Christ.
Maybe. Yes. Keep a bottle of hand sanitizer.
Holy Lord. But yeah, no, the only other thing that I really had in mind in terms of like talking about anything that's kind of pissed me off. Okay, now here we go. Going ahead and bringing him in. Where is he? Whoop, hold on. Give me a second.
Who do we have?
There we go. We've got Alex Kelly on the chat. Alex, can you hear me? Alex,
Hello?
I cannot hear you. Also, let me do a quick little fix over here.
I had
Hang on a minute. I see you. Yes.
And now Alex, I can hear you.
Alex Kelly from Geeks 5 Ever. How you doing, buddy?
It works if I don't have my mic muted, but you know.
Yeah, that's handy. Thank you for that, man. How's it going?
Real professional. I'm good. Watching you guys.
Look at you, man, ripping that Saiyan Vegeta tank top.
I don't wear sleeves on stream. That's my main thing.
Nah, screw that.
You guys
show your gains.
My overweight gains. I caught the COVID-19 in pounds, not the other thing.
Good God, that's horrible.
It's almost COVID-38 at this point.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you guys doing a great job. You guys have your convention starting to open up, as we could see. Luckily, a lot of conventions here in Texas are starting to close down, except for our two major issues that we usually talk about with our group. But
I'm guessing Anime Matsuri is one of them.
You said the mystical word. Yeah, that's.
Oh God, no! Oh, like you can thank what's her face. Shoot. Scarfing Scarves. You could thank her for cluing me in on the stupidity that is Anime Matsuri. Holy shit. Tyler Willis, I believe is her name. Lolita enthusiast. Lolita fashion enthusiast.
There's never a shortage of just wonderful news coming out of that group. I don't know.
God. Would you call it a group? I'd call it maybe an infestation.
What do you call it? Cult? I think it's the conclave. Is it a conclave? I don't know.
Being capitalized.
Alex, now speaking of idiots, I do need to ask, if I'm not mistaken, and one of your buddies from Geeks 5 Ever actually blew up my messenger about it, like the state of Texas is apparently like reopening everything 100%.
Just gonna walk off here. Yeah, we have possibly the worst governor in the entire world.
Like, I'm not trying to get straight into politics, but I think that's another point that has to be brought up when it comes to conventions and the pandemic.
First of all, yes, Governor Abbott on March 10th will be officially removing all restrictions. We're open 100% and removing the mask mandate because we're all a bunch of idiots. Guess what's right around the corner? Spring break. Guess what happened last year when he did the same thing? Massive increase in the problem.
This great state of Texas became a petri dish. A very, very yummy, tasty, drunken petri dish.
Well, we saw that we were running kind of low. We were only dropped like fourth in the amount of the amount of cases. So we're going to bump those numbers up.
Yeah, you need to pump those numbers up. Those are definitely rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, that announcement. I saw the announcement.
Ben Cruz on the YouTube chat saying that Texas and Mississippi are both trying to reopen at 100%. Is this new?
State.
Mississippi's doing this shit too?
Texas announced it yesterday. I saw the stream with Abbott doing it. So I'm guessing Mississippi hopped on their tailcoats and did the same stupid thing.
Not to be outdone by the Lone Star State.
We have so many S's in our name. We're going to do it too. Real shit show.
Jesus H. Christ on a stick, man.
We never would have been in the same category as Mississippi. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, but Juan, this does bring up an interesting point. As far as we're concerned in the state of Florida, and I'm really hoping that I'm wrong. In fact, I'm knocking on wood right now as I speak. But this brings up a very important question. How will the Metrocon, what would be the course of action for the Metrocon staff if, just like what's been announced this week, unexpectedly, it's announced by our governor that all places and establishments will be open 100% capacity.
Oh, Jesus H. Christ. You better believe there's going to be a titty attack. There's definitely going to be conflicting interests within the ranks of any convention staff. Some folks are going to be, yahoo, weehaw, we can fucking go in. We have the green light. While everyone who's got half a brain and a right nut will actually freaking speak out and say, no, not yet. It's a fucking trap. This is it would be the worst fucking mistake to just jump in and go we're going to go at it 100%, no restrictions. Yeah, yahoo, weehaw. No, fucking no. Just no. No, you got to be smart. You got to be fucking intelligent about this shit. And jumping in head first just because Governor DeSantis here in Florida, who still can't seem to get the taste of Trump out of his mouth, saying is okay. No, fucking hell. Oh, by the way, in case you can't tell. Yeah. Sorry, you were going to say something, Alex.
I was going to make a comparison to whenever there's a drag race and the car just launches forward, and explodes at the end of it.
Yep.
Or they launch forward, and it immediately cuts to the scene of all the lemmings just jumping off a cliff. Like, oh, this is exactly what's going to happen.
It's going to be, it would be a massacre. It would be a disaster if we didn't seek to reason. That's the fucking problem. We need to be reasonable about shit. I am like, once when this fucking thing went down, I was one of the first people here in fucking Florida to say, guys, I love cons as much as anyone else. I love being able to take pictures. I love being able to take video. I love being able to meet new people and cosplayers and get to see my friends and get to hug my friends again after not having seen them since God knows how long. I love this more than anyone. And it is with that love in mind that I got to say we have to wait. We have to make sure we can get rid of this virus to a degree where it's not going to jeopardize people's lives. I had the bad misfortune this past Christmas to catch the damn virus, know what it feels like firsthand. I made a joke about it on my fucking Facebook page to folks saying, hey, guess what? My chest is a knuckle now. People ask me, what the hell do you mean by that? Well, it's simple. With the amount of coughing and strain on my chest, I could actually hear when I stretch cracking, like ligament cracking right here in like the pectoral area. So I could actually crack my chest like a fucking knuckle. It hurts. That's just how badly this damn virus fucks you up. And people still aren't going to fucking listen. And it's bullshit.
It is bullshit. Like, we've had to address this, I believe, every other Saturday when we stream along with Angel, and it's
we did that for.
I don't think, and it's amazing that this is something that we have to continuously address.
I mean, you have large conventions that are even canceling. You have Anime Expo announced they're canceling. You have A-Kon in Texas canceling. A-Kon's one of the oldest and biggest conventions in the United States. They canceled. You have San Diego Comic-Con, which is, they brought more money into San Diego than the San Diego Chargers did. Canceled. But we have conventions like Metro looks like they're kind of announcing that they're going to try their best to follow the rules as best they can. I will believe it when I see these things. But you have our beloved Matsuri down there in Houston, who make up false numbers of Texas is at 20% vaccination rate when it was actually like 7%.
7% man.
Pull a number out your fucking ass. Like,
I don't even live there and I know the right numbers.
Like 20%. Maybe if you like took the total number of the South and put them in Texas, you might get the population percentage to around 20%. But you're just making up shit. And it's so fucking dumb that you have a convention that's so much but so many black eyes. There's so much red tape around the convention that they can just do no wrong because they're a cult. The people who go there, either they don't know about them or they just don't care. It's the same thing when you have other states have these things too.
Yeah, no, like that's exactly the freaking problem that I'm hoping is being avoided here with MetroCon staff. I don't want them thinking that we could do no wrong with the biggest Tampa convention ever. Like, no, I know that these guys have the staff. They run like a family, but more like the Fast and Furious family, except without any Rock the Dwayne Johnson or Jason Statham. It'd be funny if they were, though. The point is, they are a tight-knit group, and they know how each person within the staff is going to react, and they know better than to fucking do anything crazy. At least I hope so. Alex sounds like he's being intelligent about this, and he's trying to be thoughtful and like meticulous about this, because he was like, I'm taking notes. It comes from my studying in anthropology in school. It comes from me like taking studies and notes and shit from the county, and I do this number crunching like. Well, and he basically described it as that he almost does it like a second nature almost for himself. So he's like very much in the habit of collecting data and collecting numbers and interpreting it in an intelligent manner. And I'm glad that he does, because what the fuck, it'd be crazy if he wouldn't.
I like how you said that they're going to try and I understand trying to get out of the red, because if you go negative 2 years in a row, your convention's gone, no matter how big it is, unless you wind up selling part of your convention or your company to another business, your convention's gone. And I understand, like, bring it back, restrict the hell out of it. Okay, but you have to understand, like, it's one of the reasons we talked about with Geeks 5 Ever in our private conversations is like when we're discussing, do we want to go to a convention this year later on? It's like, I was a big proponent against it because if you go and we instruct no one is allowed in our panel without masks, gloves, 6 feet apart, plexiglass, everything, that's fine. But if someone goes to a convention because they were drawn there, it's like, oh, Geeks 5 Ever is going there, I want to go to the convention. I know I'm not feeling very well, but I'll just go. And that person goes and gets a bunch of people sick. You as a group, as a convention, don't want to be the reason someone got sick. I don't want to be the reason a whole group of people in a hotel got sick because they came because one of them wanted to come see me. I don't want that. I don't want that on my conscience. And businesses don't think that way for the most part. But if you have a convention that run themselves kind of like a family, they're more inclined to hurt themselves a little to just barely get by, where a large major company is like,
like, no. Yeah, no, that's a really good point, and that's a really good way of looking at it. Yeah, because like that's sort of that's sort of like the thing that comes up. One thing that we get out of like the conventions here in Tampa, like Holiday Matsuri in Orlando, or Lumicon, or MetroCon, or Omni Fandom Expo, the ambience and the feeling that you get is that you're reuniting with family members and you're reuniting with your long lost friends and siblings in the geek community, and we can all congregate and get together. That's the feeling that I was instilled with, like attending these conventions, volunteering there, running panels there, like helping with the Ravens flock, having be a part of these conventions. Excuse me. And I can get the instinct of wanting to be like, oh no, it's fine, we're family, we can all take care of each other, but we also got to be like, okay, if we're gonna be family, we're not gonna be the stupid ass family, you know, like that's gonna just accommodate our own like desires just for the experience. As hurtful as it is and as important as it is to have that experience with other geeks and with other con attendees and other staff and other people, it's not worth risking jumping up the freaking infection rate on this damn thing. People have died of this fucking virus. People have gotten sick and have gotten irreparable harm done to their bodies on this. Folks have been wrecked monetarily in the form of having to go to the ER, getting put on respirators and shit. And folks had like missed work because of this damn thing. It's hitting people in every conceivable inconvenient way. Going to a convention may seem to be like the most cathartic release, and that's really the hurtful part, because we have to deny ourselves that release, as badly as it hurts, as much as painful as it is. Until we can do it safely, we've got to continue to deny ourselves and abstain from going to cons until we can return and go to them without risking harming each other. Because if you're really family, you're not going to go out of your way to hurt each other. And if you know that this could risk that, then don't fucking do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, I think this goes back to the earlier point. You know, it's important that we work together as a large community, and that we actually pay attention to real professionals instead of certain
crackpots
that will, instead of people that will fabricate or manipulate the information just for their own ends, or just spew a bunch of bullshit.
It's around this time last year that you had, okay, we were shut down for a week. A couple weeks. Let's try to open up, see what happens. Like, no,
it didn't fucking work.
Why?
No.
Why? It's the major deja vu. It's March, so everything feels like, okay, it's been a year. Let's do something. But repeating the same thing causes the same thing to happen. You didn't change, so you're gonna fuck up again.
No, it's gonna be a fucking problem. No matter what. And there's still gonna be folks who, even after we have a relatively reduced infection rate at this point, or or there's gonna be enough of the vaccine having been distributed, there's still gonna be folks who are still gonna be hands off and standoffish about the whole thing, and they're not going to want to risk themselves on that. So that's still going to be an issue. And I remember Alex saying that at some point, we're like, once we've got everything back up and running again, there's still going to be folks who are going to be like still skeptical about going to the convention. When it comes to that, it's never going to truly be 100% safe again because of the shit that we've gone through now. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try after a while, once everyone's vaccinating and everyone's being safe about social distancing and shit. So like if in your conscience, if you don't think you should go, then don't go. Not because we don't want you here, but if they're not going to twist your arm, and you shouldn't force yourself to go and do something if you're not feeling that it's safe. Conversely, conversely is that if you feel that it's safe now, you just do so and err on the side of caution. Like, okay, you want to go ahead and come out, that's fine. Here are the conditions for coming out. You're going to mask up. We're going to be social distance. You're going to have temperature checks. You're going to we're going to keep hand sanitizers accessible to everyone. And we encourage everyone to pay attention to this shit and be mindful. Don't just come in like a fucking idiot with your thumb up your ass, running around naked cowboy style in the middle of Times Square. That time is come and gone.
Yeah,
you can't do that
no,
anymore.
we definitely don't want to do that.
Just throw Texas right under the bus. I see how it is.
But no, from what you're saying, Juancho, it's ultimately up to the attendees. It's their choice if they want to go or not, and if they don't feel safe, then it's up to them, and no harm to them. That's natural. That's normal. I think, in my opinion, after we've been vaccinated, I think the conditions would be well enough to actually go out and go out and take that chance.
That's true.
But that is my personal opinion on this.
We gotta get the percentage of people vaccinated higher, so it's a safer, because vaccinations work. That's how you get the herd immunity. It's through the vaccination process.
Right.
You can't do it when you're making up a 20% number when it's actually 7. When you want that number like 75 higher, where that's a large majority that's been vaccinated. And then you still want to follow a safe guidelines. Like, for one, I don't want someone closer than 6 feet to me, even before the pandemic. I don't like people.
True.
Stay away. Because I've been to a convention. Y'all fucking stink. Go away.
Oh my God, no, you're not wrong. Holy shit.
If I can touch you, go away.
Yeah, no.
I have cultivated the resting bitch face perfectly over years of trying. I don't need the social distancing thing going away, kind of. I like it where it is.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, everyone's going to be different moving forward when it comes to how they're going to interact. Like, I still mask up. I still try to keep away from folks. I went and picked up they had a 2-for-1 deal on Krispy Kreme Hot Nows today, so I'm like, ding, yeah, grabbing that. And there was a lady who entered in behind me, and when she came in, even though we were already obviously like 6 feet apart, just like seeing her, and I instinctively
wide circles.
Not trying to be rude, not trying to be like, oh hey, no, get away from me. Just like, cool, okay. She's got a face shield. I just bumped the mic. She's got a face shield on. She doesn't have a cloth mask or anything, but she's got a face shield. I'm like, right on. I'm gonna go ahead this way. No disrespect, but I'm gonna go here.
Get away from the fatal funnel.
Did she say anything?
Yeah, no, we were talking. She's like, oh hey, are they doing any deals today? Like, yeah, they got the 2-for-1 Hot Nows. Oh, I'm getting on that. Oh yeah. That was it. She didn't even know they had the deal in today. But cool.
Okay. As long as she didn't give you any sort of bitch out just because you were practicing social distancing.
No. Thankfully, no. She was nice. She was a nice lady.
Okay.
We're about to have a lot of issues in Texas because without that mandate, businesses can still enforce it, but people are going to be like, I don't need.
They're going to go Karen-zillas.
There's so many fucking Karens. They've been holding back all this time, storing energy to release it just for March 10th. Stampede of stupidity.
No, they're gonna fucking unleash it. They're gonna be fucking stupid about it. Like, it is my right as a citizen of the state of Texas. You have to let me in. You are breaking the law. These crazy ass Karen ladies are already like throwing titty attacks left and right as it is. You really think now that they're gonna? It's like, no, you are disobeying your governor. How dare you? This is illegal. This is so wrong. Like, motherfuck, lady, go get yourself a colonic. If you're this uptight, I got Ferris Bueller online. Holy's got a lump of coal with your name on it. If you know the movie, you get the rest of the reference.
Oh man. Well, the only thing we can do for those of us who are taking this pandemic seriously, the only thing we can do is continue what we have been doing, staying on, keeping our ears on the ground, staying educated, and just working together. And I know I sound like a broken record, but this is something I feel it needs to be repeated over and over and over and over.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And even though, despite Texas and despite Mississippi reopening back up 100% at full capacity, like, come on. For those of us who know, we know better. We're not gonna take that.
We're not the best example here. We just had a snowstorm knock out half of our power. Don't take us as an example, people.
Yeah. The point being is that, it's the circumstances such as that does not change anything. We still need to stay at home and do what we need to do what's best for ourselves and for everyone else.
Real quick, Ben Cruz on the chat is saying, I want a requirement in conventions that the only way inside is if you have some sort of vaccine passport. That was brought up as an option that is being considered by Alex and the METROCON staff. Either a vaccine passport or a recent negative testing for like COVID testing.
They give you a card when you get the vaccine.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a godless nightmare. They're saying that they're going to allow it to be distributed and open up to folks younger than 65 sometime between March and April. So here's fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I think they announced that teachers are now eligible for it as well.
Yay, teachers. They should have been fucking given it for free the first time around along with first responders. But what do I know? I'm just a guy with a grade school child.
Let's get those rich white old people their vaccines first.
Goodness gracious, man.
Like, the only other thing that I really wanted to bring up as a sort of like a rant that I wanted to talk about was just something dumb. It's not even like the end of the universe dumb, but how many of you guys know about the Twitch women's like celebration month or like women's month that Twitch wanted to try to do?
I know it's Women's Appreciation Month. I didn't know if their Twitch was doing something for it.
Yeah, I didn't know about it either, but please, yes, let's switch gears. I think we've talked about it enough because I want to get into this. I want to get into this topic. What the hell?
Okay, this is dumb, and you're going to laugh because of how dumb it is. This is starting up at the beginning of the month. What do you call it? For March being Women's History Month, Twitch wanted to celebrate women's like women Twitch streamers and gamers and content creators. But they also wanted to be more inclusive to non-cisgendered heterosexual women. So when they put up their women like celebration month thing for Twitter, they put up Womixen, as in they spelled it WOMXN, because women is too is the trans exclusionary and too gender conformist.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, they went there. They were immediately trashed. They were like, Twitch was immediately like trashed for this on every social media site putting this up, because they got a couple of like women creators to make a little promo video for this, and they were just saying like, oh hey, like this is important for women to be able to speak out. It's not just a girl gamer or you're not just successful. They brought out this nice little video and they're saying the word women in wherever they were talking, but they also subtitled it. And every time the word women showed up, it was Wamixin. So celebrate Wamixin month with Twitch. Being so inclusive. Being so...
What?
I don't drink often, but when I do, it's because of dumb shit like this.
That would have been a good ad for Mixer.
Oh yeah, no, that would be nice. Yeah, that would be smart if Mixer was able to take advantage of that. But yeah, immediately, like not even 48 hours after they started with their Wamixin History Month thing, Twitch went ahead and put up an apology. They put up a statement saying, okay, so we fucked up.
Yeah, we realized what we did was very, very stupid. And we're sorry.
We're sorry. If you know the South Park BP apology, we're sorry. Blowing dandelion. Some, like, people sorry. Tweet out. It's like, hey, this is our idea. What do you think? And then there's like, they can just say no. Like, that's dumb. Don't do that. There's gotta be
don't do that.
Quality control.
Oh yeah, look, here's the freaking truth. It's important to acknowledge Women's History Month in March. Yes, we need to acknowledge that, and we need to, show the appreciation for all the women in history and all the women today that are doing what they're doing. But for Twitch to make it their own like special like thing that they tried to do, no. Don't do that. That is.
It sort of fries my fritters here the same way that folks are trying to make the word Latinx happen.
Latinx?
Yeah, Latinx. Okay. The little tinks, the little pixies, and they are Hispanic. So you're calling it out in Spanish, Latinx.
Look,
Mira Latinx over there. Jesus. It bugs my brain so bad. I'm so sorry.
I'm all for a neutral. I'm all for a neutral word to describe us. Our race,
Hispanic people.
Hispanic people. But like, why not just use the word Hispanic? We're all Hispanics. I mean, well, except for Alec, of course, unless he has Hispanics in his.
I'm 1/4 Mexican.
See.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
I'm also very Irish though, so it canceled. I whitewashed the shit out though. I'm undercover that no one knows that I have.
Oh goodness!
An undercover.
I like playing the white guy. I'm the white guy. I like to play that role.
Got undercover brother. You're the undercover hermano.
Yeah. I guess my point is like when it comes to history, like don't take something a part of history and then make it into like some bizarre thing that no one is going to understand or accept.
No one asked for this.
Some Mary Sue saw that the Spanish language was what was it?
Masculine and feminine.
Masculine and feminine. It's like, that's not culturally appropriate. We need to change that. And some white chick probably decided, no, we need a neutral term. You're not going to get people to change their language. That's fucking stupid.
It's like I got a pretzel in my brain. Fucking Talladega Night moment. Like
we still use imperial. We don't use metric. That's how fucking stubborn the white people are. You don't get culture to change their language.
Jesus H Christ! Like when will it end? I don't fucking know. Point is, it's weird. It's not necessary. They don't have to go this far. And
it's not surprising that they got smacked down by those who rejected it.
Yeah, no, social media jumped on them like, white on rice. It was funny, and I just couldn't the only thing that I could do is author and YouTube vlogger Lindsay Ellis. She put up this fucking line of here. Actually, I want to see if I can find him one more time because she went ahead and retweeted the fucking thing, and it was funny as hell. Give me a minute. Let me see.
Gabriel Iglesias had an episode about the Latinx thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was on his show because one of his students was like, "We go by Latinx now." It's like, why? It's like, we've been called all kinds of things. I don't want to be called. I don't want someone telling me I have to be called something.
Oh man!
Like you don't have to go by Latinx. Like it's Hispanic, Latino. Okay, so when they put up, she retweeted it and she put up Twixt, Dux, Hexel, Ixor, Yixu Trixing Tix Dix. Okay, and I will pull this up.
Is there a filter?
Yeah, no, she replaced the vowels like on almost all of these with X, and I will put this up here. You guys aren't going to be able to see it, but if you're watching on Twitch and YouTube, you'll see. Here we go.
Yep.
Twix, what's the Ixer or Ixer Yixu Trixing Tix Dix? It's fucking ridiculous.
Tricks dicks.
No, for real, it's a fucking mess. It's so stupid. I love it.
Oh my!
But then again,
God.
she is an author, so playing with words is just second nature for her, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Hang on, I'm out of focus. I got to fix that. There we go, and we're back. There we go. Because I had to refocus for the phone. But yeah, like,
Is that how you type with a stutter? Replace all the vowels.
Is it a stutter? Is it a speech impediment, or is it an accent?
It helps us to type that way either way.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness.
Point is, they clearly thought they were trying to do something smart and inclusive and innovative. They wound up doing something that was really dumb that nobody asked for and ended up pissing off the same people that they were trying to be inclusive and representative of in the first place.
Yeah, not surprising.
We
Not
didn't ask for
surprising at
this.
all.
It's another episode of a white person stepping into someone else's things. Like, don't worry, I'll show you how we handle this. Show you how the white people handle problems.
God, that's so dumb. I'm glad we're talking about this. We need, like, even though it's an important issue, we need some sort of levity for this episode.
Yeah, I chat about the fucking virus long enough. I wanted to talk about something silly.
Or to find comedy and tragedy. That's
Exactly.
very important.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. It's 1:45 Wancho, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I do need to go to Betty Buys and catch some Z's. However, if you don't mind, I actually would like to plug a little bit of my show tomorrow night. For tomorrow night, for the next edition of the Wednesday Night War, I'm not going to spoil everything, but one of the things I will talk about from this week's AEW Dynamite is a tag match involving NBA basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal. He steps into the ring for the first time.
Awesome. Looking forward to hearing about that, and looking forward to our review.
Oh man! Oh, we're gonna have a ball talking about that shit tomorrow.
Excellent. All right, Joe. All right, I'll let you go ahead and drop out, Jose.
All righty. Good night, Juancho. Good night, Alex.
I don't know why I'm here.
Buenas noches, my amigo from afar.
Knock it off. Just knock it off, Joe. No.
I'm white.
Just no, Jose. Just no. Just vanish. Go away. There we go. He's gone. All right. Yeah, no, that was a nice little capper for the night, I guess. Alex, was there anything else that you wanted to bring up that you wanted to talk about real quick?
No, I came out here to voice my opinion of this terrible situation. That was about it. I mean, I could plug stuff, but I don't plug for my group. That's someone else's job.
No, not a problem, man. Not a problem at all. I'm glad that you're able to show up. I'm glad that you came in to chat about this. It was really fun. And of course, for those of you who don't know, Alex is part of the crew Geek Vibe Ever. They also simulcast on YouTube and Twitch. They do their programs almost every weeknight, right?
No, we're Friday. Every Friday.
Every Friday.
Every Friday, 7 to 9 Central. For your East Coast people, it is 5. I don't know, you guys. An hour difference. You do the math.
Yeah, so 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central. There we go.
Bi-weekly Wednesdays. It's for an hour.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you again for that, Alex. I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead and drop off. I'll check you later, man. Whoop, hang on. Let me do this thingy here and get rid of that. There we go. We don't want to see a duplicate of my head. Who needs to? All right, folks. Thank you all very much for watching this special live stream edition of the Black Files. I'm glad I was able to bring this out. We had hiccups, but then again, when don't we have hiccups? Thank you to everyone who spoke up on the YouTube chat, anyone who is lurking on our Twitch chat. Speak up. Don't be shy. I know that it's scary to see a random a-hole on the internet talking, but I do not bite. I am on the internet. I cannot bite you. And I wanted to go ahead and once again thank everyone for watching and jumping in. Go ahead and contact the Ravens Flock. Go ahead and give us your feedback. Let us know what you think about this circumstance with MetroCon. Let us know what you think about the let us know what you think about the measures that MetroCon or other conventions that you may want to talk about are taking in this terrible, terrible time of COVID. And of course, I ask you to follow up with us tomorrow night, 10 p.m. on Twitch and YouTube for the Wednesday Night War, starring Jose Casbona and fixed by me because I'm the only tech guy in this whole business. And of course, we invite you to continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Twitch.tv/TheRavensFlockOnline, and don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the notification bell on our flagship channel, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, home of the Black Files, the Wednesday Night War, Los Amigos Play, and the Ravens Flock. I am your host of the Black Files. This has been Juan Arouse, and for everyone on the chat and for everyone who came in on the Zoom conference call, this has been the Black Files, and we are out.